first of all, I just wanted to ask you about Ian St. John, because it wasn't that long ago that you met him at Melwood. I just wonder what impression he made on you that day.
An outstanding impression. Ian was, said it before, when you are in a club with really a lot of legends around you and you see them one time maybe only and you are not sure about the name or something like that, but with Ian it was completely different, because I saw the pictures on the wall here in Melwood, and when Ian came around the corner he didn't change really. He didn't change over the years, and he was in the late 70s that time, and he still had all the smile in his eyes. You could see it, everything. He was just a fantastic person. And so for me as a football fan, is then in these moments is really like you want to do right, you want to understand each word, you want to show the respect you have, and it was so easy with him because he's a really nice and funny and smart person. That was Ian St. John that day, and I only met him that time. All the things around I heard about him pictured exactly that obviously, because everybody was so positive about him. And so now another big one of Liverpool is not here anymore, but in a better place. And that's on the one side obviously sad, and for his family, and I feel really for his family, but on the other side, being such a good person as Ian St. John was, we all can be sure where we will meet him again, if we will be nice as well.
Looking ahead to the game against Chelsea, Jurgen, and they were lovely words I should say as well, by the way. Just looking ahead to the game though, is Alisson okay to return, and do you also have Fabinho and Jota available too?
So Ali trained now the full week, and yes, we should expect that he's able to return. Fab has now 5 or 6 sessions in his legs. We have to make a decision how we deal with that, but looks good. Is ready for the squad for sure. And Diogo had now this this little, what is that, stomach problem, whatever you can say, and he trained yesterday only a little bit, so was only out there for the warming up, a rondo, and had done a little run. So got the message this morning that he feels better again. So we will see what we can do with that. I said before, it looked exceptionally well, but then unfortunately he got ill overnight, and so now we have to see how big the steps are he can make towards the team again.
Obviously, we'll look at this as a big game in terms of league position. Also, the first Premier League meeting between yourself and Thomas Tuchel. But what are you expecting from Chelsea under him?
Oh, I think a lot of the things we saw already in the games they played so far are very successful. Obviously, clear philosophy, clear idea, absolute possession based, different formations. He used the time and got immediate results, but used the time as well to get more knowledge about his squad. He changed quite a lot, and that's normal with the amount of games we have. But he really changed a lot. I think pretty much all 3 left backs played. Emerson played, Alonso played, Chilwell played. Centre half maybe didn't change that often. Up front, a lot of options, changed them, tried them all. It's I think just Mason Mount, Kovacic, and Jorginho also like the fixed points. Maybe I missed now one, but all the other positions were very. He changed a lot just to get all the information you need about the squad. And I think now they are a step further, and we will face them now. So will be interesting.
Thank you, Vinny. We'll go to Damien from PLP.
Hello, Jurgen. A lot has been made of Chelsea's defensive sort of form under Tuchel. I think we've only conceded a couple of goals. Is it going to be a night where you need to be patient to avoid frustration setting in?
I think first of all it's quite difficult to get more possession than Chelsea. That's I think that changed, maybe slightly since Frank. But it's a full package required. Let me say it like this. So you have to defend because they let the ball roll. Let me say it like this. There's you have to work a lot, and then there are situations. It's not like you have the ball all the time and face a deep block. There will be a deep block when we could be dominant, but in other moments they are just defending in the right way and use then the space you give them for counter attacks. So patient you always have to be, but I don't think this is a game where specifically patient. You have to be patient in moments, you have to be lively in other moments, you have to be creative in moments, and you have to show your desire for defending in all the moments, because this is a top team, and they will have they will ask for a lot, and we should try to make sure that we have all the answers.
Top four seems to be a minimum requirement if you're a Chelsea manager. You conceded the title. What do you make of the race to qualify automatically for the Champions League?
Yeah, I think a week ago we were out. Now we are around again. So for us, it's not. For us, the challenge and the job is clear. We have to win. We have to win football games, as many as possible, to make it in the top four. That's how it is. We know that not only since today, so we know that, and we cannot make a difference who we face. So, but we know, of course, about the quality of Chelsea, and Chelsea have the same targets. So it was, since I'm in England, the first 2 years, I think, first year we had no chance, and then we had already kind of a fight. No, the 2 years later we had a fight with Chelsea, I think. And to get to the Champions League. So, but there are other teams, obviously. There are neighbours. Is West Ham, is Tottenham will come again, and all these kind of things. And of course, Leicester, United, and maybe not really involved anymore. I'm not sure. And City is obviously already gone. So that's all clear. Yeah, for the neutral fan, it's exciting. For the Liverpool supporter, it's exciting as well, but maybe not in exactly the way he wants to. But we will give it a proper try.
Thank you, Damien. We'll take one from BBC Merseyside, which is Carl, and then we'll go to James from TalkSport after that one. Carl.
Hi, Jurgen. I was just going to ask you about going back to St John and how you've met the legends of the club. How important is it to speak to the legends of the club? How educational is it talking to them?
To understand the club, you have to meet as many as possible, I would say. So because it's one thing what the people tell you from inside the club, and others who will tell you about from outside the club, and then you get some completely different information from the players from the players of the past, because they know about they will know absolutely, they will know properly how you feel when you go out there on the pitch and all these kind of things, and how nice it is and what it gives you, and they tell you all these wonderful old stories, and that's actually the feeding or the petrol of dreams. So if they tell you that, you want to have it as well, and so it gives you some ground. For the things you don't really know what you want to have in the future. If they tell you, okay, that's exactly what I want, just in a different year, but exactly that. And Ian was, obviously, I didn't even know because I never saw the show, but I heard then he was a TV personality as well, so he was really famous for that. And I didn't know it. When I heard it afterwards, I thought, okay, that makes sense, because he was really he used his words really well. Was very funny and very entertaining. So I have only the best memories. It's so nice now, in his sad moment, that my memories are very personal. And if it was only an hour or so, but that gives me really, some good feelings as well.
Thank you. We'll go to James from TalkSport, then we're going to go to Carl from PA, then ESPN and Haters to finish with. James next.
Jurgen, are you looking forward to seeing Thomas tomorrow? You've obviously known each other for a very long time, but you won't have seen him for a long while.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we met each other in the summer when I was at Mainz for a few days, and he as well. So I met two of my former players for breakfast, and I think I saw Thomas and his wife. But I think it was this summer, and so that was the last time. And before that, when we played PSG, when we played Dortmund, and before that, when we played Mainz, and because I was manager at Dortmund, he was manager at Mainz. So it's not that Thomas and I meet constantly or ever met constantly. It's just not possible in this job. And but when we see each other, it's rather nice.
Okay, thank you, James. Carl from PA, and then we go to Mark Ogden from ESPN, and then Nick from Haters to finish the open section. But Carl.
Hi, Jurgen.
Hi, Carl.
Hi. You said Fabinho is now ready to return. Where do you see him returning? In which position? Will you bring him back in at centre back, or do you think those two centre backs who performed at Sheffield United so well will continue, and you can bring Fabinho back into midfield?
Both is possible. No, it's true. Both is possible. That is good. So it gives us options and different moments. I think if you can find a way to bring Fab back in midfield, that would be in some games quite helpful. Just because he has this. So I think the most consistent player this season probably is Gini Wijnaldum. Yeah, long may it continue. So and he played the six. He played pretty much all the positions and all these kind of things. And so, but with Fab on six, that in some games would be absolutely helpful. So we will see. So, but that's now both things are really intense. If you play centre half or you play six last time, in the past now we had to bring the players when they came back always immediately because another player left the pitch the game before injured or whatever. And this time we don't have to do that. First time maybe. But there's still a lot of games to come, so we will see. Is Fab close enough to start, or is he only ready for the bench, which would be already completely fine? And then which position? So that these decisions are obviously still to make. Even if I would have made them already, I wouldn't tell you exactly what the decision is. So let's see.
Okay, I was just thinking, obviously you've had 17 different centre-back starting partnerships. I was wondering whether you need to maybe get those two to develop.
That number differs, obviously. I heard already 19, then I heard 20, it's 18.
I think it's 18, I don't know. Yeah.
Martin thinks it's 18.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, we can't go through it all together.
No, let's not do that. Yeah. But I think, yeah, Carl, sorry to interrupt your question.
Yeah.
Is that this gives you a chance?
You still can have a question.
Yeah, I was saying that because you've had so many changes, do you look to, now you've got two centre-backs who are playing there, can you look to get them to establish a partnership so therefore you don't have to bring in Fab to play with Ozan or Fab to play with Phillips or...
Stability would always be great if you could do that. So for me, there's no need. Both did really well. I heard, because I didn't see it in the game, I heard there were people were quite critical with both of them, which is really picky, to be honest. So yeah, stability would be great. But we changed it that often. Maybe we make a habit of it. I don't know. I know, but I will not say here what we do. So that's actually the case.
Okay, last two questions. We've got Mark Ogden from ESPN and then Nick from Haters. Mark.
Hi, Jurgen. In 3 weeks' time, you've got an international break, World Cup qualifiers all over the globe, and you've got 3 Brazilians and 1 Portuguese who, if they are called up for the countries, will have to go to red zone countries, red list countries, which may involve a 10-day quarantine when they get back. Have you got any clarity as to whether there'll be an exemption? And are you concerned about players travelling to countries that are currently on the banned list in the UK?
There are different things what you could say about that. So first and foremost, we are concerned, yes, about all the things. So we obviously all the things which happened, like from a virus point of view, in the last few months, were always when somebody had to leave the bubble. So in the bubble, we didn't have. Then we were not without cases. We are now without cases for a long, long time, but not over the whole time. But it never spread or whatever. It was just a case, and then self-isolation and come again. But there were 2 periods. There was the last international, break when more cases than before came up, and there was the Christmas period, obviously, which we all were involved. So like the whole society was a challenge for all of us. And now it's all going, obviously, in England in the right direction. It looks really all positive and promising. Yes, and we are concerned about these kind of things. The only problem I have, and so what is a red list country? So, like England is doing really well in the moment, and I think we are on the red list for some other countries. I'm not sure on the red list, but it's not easy for us to travel from England, obviously. So having more information would be great. We don't get the information. I think the FIFA was kind of clear. We don't have to let the players go this time, and I think all the clubs agree with the same problems that we cannot let the boys just go and then sort the situation when they come back, or visit our players in a 10-day quarantine in a hotel or whatever. That's just not possible. I understand the need of the different FAs, but this is a time where you cannot make everybody happy. So, and we have to admit that the players are paid by the clubs. So that means we have to be first priority. That's how it is. And that means now, with all understanding for the different needs and the competitions coming up in the summer, I get it really, but how I said, you cannot make everybody happy in the same time in this period of our lives. And that's why we are not 100% sure, because it's not clear, because some countries might change the venues where they play. They go to not red zone countries, or all these kind of things. So it's the whole situation. It's similar to the Champions League, where will we play, and these kind of things. We always have to wait until the last second, pretty much, because people need time to make decisions, and we don't think too much about it because we are not influential in it. We just deal with the things other people decided, and so yeah, we got kind of used to it. But how is that? I think everybody agrees. We cannot let the players go and just for playing for the country and coming back and have to quarantine for 10 days in a hotel. That's not how we can do it.
Okay, thanks, Mark. We're going to go to Nick for haters. Can the guys for the breakout section, which will be under embargo, start doing the hands up? We'll take a few of you. But Nick, last question in the open.
Hi, Jurgen. Thanks for your patience and your time. A big game, Liverpool v Chelsea, but it must be huge in Germany now with you and Thomas Tuchel. I just wonder if you could just expand a bit on your relationship with him, and you have that sort of relationship where you might even have a personal rivalry to be the top German manager in the Premier League.
So I don't know how big it is in Germany, to be honest. It's a while ago that I didn't read anything about it yet, to be honest. Which is not too important. Who is the top manager in the Premier League? Yeah, so that's a competition for other people to be interested in. I'm interested in winning that football game, and that's all. And Thomas is the same. So we know each other for a long, long time. We have kind of a common history, if you want. He worked for Mainz like I did. He worked for Dortmund like I did. So we know a lot of people. Pretty much a lot of people we know are the same, let me say it like this, and work together with them. And that's it. But now Thomas was for 3 years roundabout in Paris. Before that, he had probably a year break. So like 4 years already, or I'm not 100% sure, maybe only 3 years altogether. But we didn't play a lot against each other. We played in the Champions League. We played in the European League with Dortmund. That's it in the last 5.5 years. And I think he's an outstanding coach or manager, however you want to call it, and will be tricky to play his team, like it always was tricky, because he's a good one.